Hi, I'm Gordon Walton, and I've executive produced some games you might have heard of, such as Ultima Online, The Sims Online, Star Wars Galaxies, and Star Wars The Old Republic.
Hi, and I'm J. Todd Coleman. I'm the creative director of Shadowbane, Wizard 101, and Pirate 101.
And we're the founders of Artcraft Entertainment.
So our goal at Artcraft is to create a new type of online experience, something that hasn't been done before.
I want to play something with the intensity of a season of Game of Thrones, only in a game setting.
Yeah, exactly. Allies, enemies, alliances, betrayal, conquest. These are the components that we feel are lacking in today's online experiences.
And we're going to change that.
So Crowfall is a mix of a massively multiplayer online role-playing game and a strategy game. The problem is those are two very, very different genres. In an MMO, the expectation players have is that the world will be persistent, actually permanent. In a strategy game, the expectation is that the game is over when somebody wins. So imagine a family gets together once a year for a game of Risk. Only it's not for different game of Risk every year. They're getting together to continue the same game of Risk. Like at the end of the night, they just throw a tablecloth over the board. They come back the next year, remove the cloth, and all the pieces are in the same place. So they pick up the game from where they left off last year. The first year would actually be a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody would be in the game, jockeying for position, trying to figure out where their place was in the world. By year two, one person, let's say Uncle Bob, starts to pull ahead. A few people drop out. The other people are still kind of enjoying themselves, though it's pretty obvious that they're not going to win. By year three, Bob is clearly pulled ahead and everyone else is bored. In fact, the only one having fun at this point is Uncle Bob. Fast forward 10 years. Bob is now an unassailable tyrant, and anyone who even tries to challenge him is crushed instantly. Nobody's having fun, not even Uncle Bob. This is the problem with a strategy game. A strategy game inherently has to have a chance to restart, or the game simply doesn't work. It stops being fun. So how do we marry the concepts of an MMO, which is supposed to be persistent and forever, with a strategy game, which is supposed to naturally come to an end? We have a solution, and it's based on the passage of time. We call it Eternal Heroes, Dying Worlds.
So the concept is the heroes are permanent, but the worlds, they're not. They decay, they get destroyed. Imagine you're playing a campaign, say 3 months. The campaign ends. Well, your character doesn't get destroyed, the world gets destroyed. After that's done, you get to pick a whole new campaign. At any given time, there may be dozens of campaigns. You just choose one, and then you go.
Each world in the Crowfall universe is unique. Unique map, unique rule set, unique victory conditions. It's like a bunch of massively multiplayer games of Risk all running together at the same time. Players choose a world and then a team, either a faction or a guild, and then they vie for control of that world.
At the beginning of every campaign, players are dropped into new worlds that are unknown to them. They don't know where they are, where they're going, or what's around them.
When your player lands there for the very first time, it's like the first turn of civilization. Our whole world is fully dynamically created at the beginning of the campaign. All the oceans, continents, rivers, hills, they're all different in every world.
Each map is filled with ancient ruins and towns, caves, stuff for players to explore.
Not only do you have to explore the physical world, but you also have to explore the different rules that can change from campaign to campaign, such as how strong magic is, what races are present, and what technology you can use.
So we solved the challenge of resetting the strategy map without wiping the players. That's awesome in and of itself, but what if we take it further? If the worlds are going to reset anyway, why not let them be fully destructible?
From the moment Todd came to me and told me about this game, the one thing that I really was excited about was the destruction.
The world is made of voxels, which are little building blocks, a bit like Minecraft, but much smaller.
Most people are using voxels for creation. They're using them to create sandboxes where people can build. We're using them for a very different reason. We're using voxels for destruction. This game is all about creating sandcastles and then kicking them over.
Players can do everything from blow holes in walls, they can dig tunnels underneath keeps and siege from below.
The idea of coming around a corner, finding another player, shooting a fireball, hitting a wall, blowing that up, and having that fall down on that player was just an awesome idea.
Once you allow players to build and destroy castles, they can claim territory. And with territory comes real political power.
The fealty system is based on trees. You can grant lands to vassals, and then they can in turn grant that land to vassals of their own.
There's two types of worlds. Campaign worlds are like a soccer match. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then the players move on and take that experience into the next game. The Eternal Kingdoms, though, are like the whole soccer season.
The Eternal Kingdoms is where you would come back between campaigns. It's where your player housing is. It's also where you would, count your spoils from war or lick your wounds if you didn't have such a successful bout.
The player who owns the world gets to decide things like the taxes and the tariffs and even the PvP rules. Those players completely control those worlds. So to get to this point, it's required a significant outlay of money. Some of that's come from external investors. A big chunk of it actually came from us. And I know you've heard stories about game designers and producers who have sold their company for tens of millions of dollars. We're not those guys. So this is a significant risk for us, right? We're doing this because we fundamentally want to see this game get made. We're hoping that you guys want to see it get made too. That's why we decided to go directly to Kickstarter and appeal to you, because we don't want to look for external money if we can help it.
We clearly know how to raise money from publishers or from venture capitalists if we need to, but we don't want them dictating how the game gets made. We'd rather make the game for you.
Yeah, the problem with external money is once you take a bunch of money from somebody, all of a sudden they start doing spreadsheets and saying, okay, how can we adapt this game to appeal to a broader and broader audience because we'll make more money? And when you do that, the vision inevitably suffers.
We'll do what it takes to get the game made, but frankly, we'd rather be working for you. From all of us at ArtCraft,
We really believe in this game and we really want to make it for you.
please support our Kickstarter and we'll
See you in game!